This one comes from Derek. He wrote in. He
literally wrote in.
He wrote in and then snail mailed his question to us. He says, "Dear Colin, Greg, and the ever-rotating third chair, Beyond. I'm in sort of a dilemma right now. So I bought a PlayStation 4 on launch with 3 games. I loved it for the first few months, but now I'm bored. I ended up buying a gaming laptop that is more powerful than my PlayStation 4 by far. I now rarely even use my PS4. Then Derek does the cardinal sin of just rambling on with a bunch of BS I don't care about, so I skip past all that. Should I sell my 3 systems?" And he's talking about Vita, PS3. I'm sure you couldn't have put this together, so I'm helping you out.
I thought maybe you meant Wii, PS3, and Xbox.
No, he's just talking about his PlayStation things. Because he says, "I have been a Sony fanboy up until a year ago, and I'm now disappointed."
Wow,
I just like that.
Weird time to be disappointed.
I just like that. Should I sell my 3 systems? I rarely play them with my Vita looking lonely, since I am not an indie or JRPG fan, and I have played around 175 different PS3 games. Beyond, Derek.
I don't know if you want to. I mean, that's cool if you want. I think it's a weird time to move away from the ecosystem because I think it's going to be really strong in the next 18 months or so when the games really start dropping.
Yeah.
And I also disagree. I really disagree vehemently that people say there are no games to play on PS4. There are a lot of games on PS4.
Yeah.
It's about whether. And it's just a lot of indie, like smaller indie games.
Yeah, he's taking pop shots at JRPGs and indie stuff.
There are no
now
JRPGs.
We can't. Yeah, there aren't any on the PlayStation 4 right now anyway, so I don't know what that has to do with anything.
I think we talked about that last week. There are no Japanese role-playing games on PS4. That's part of the problem of why it's not even failed to launch well in Japan, period. So. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, if that's what you want to do, I think it's a great time to own a PS4 and a Vita. PS3, sure. If you want to sell it, that's fine. You'll miss out on Persona and Tales of Hysteria and Tales of Exilia 2 and some other games.
There's a lot of layers to this. It's like an onion. I mean, my first and foremost thing is...
Yeah, it makes me want to cry.
Yeah,
because how do you not like indies and JRPGs?
My thing is, does he need the money? Yes or no, right? That's the proper thing right there. If he's just selling them because he doesn't...
Well, clearly he does. He's sending us,
They've cut off my internet here. Wherever I'm from,
he can't afford the
Riverdale, New
internet,
Jersey,
yeah.
I'll imagine. Like he must be writing it at work, or his dad works at ABC Supply Company Incorporated. But there we go. Does he need the money? And if he doesn't, then why care? That's the same reason I keep the Wii around, right? Like, well, the Wii U's there when I want to play Smash, when I want to play Mario Kart, right? It'll be there for all these different things. And then but going back to what I was making a reference to, right? We were talking about it last night in text messages in our jovial fashion of how great Rogue Legacy is, how I thought it was special on PC, but I think it's better here. The fact is, I don't like playing at my desk. You know what I mean? I like coming home from my work, where I come home from work where I'm working on a computer all day, and then going into the other room and sitting down at that other desk in front of a PC, right? Like I like to sit on the couch, I like to relax, I like to lay in bed, and that's where Vita and PlayStation come in, and that's where I prefer to play my games on consoles, period, over PC gaming. And so I think that's the same thing here. If he's fine with playing all these different games on the laptop, on his gaming PC setup, more power to him. Go do what you want. Let your freak flag fly, Megan.
Maybe. But
maybe. Oh, Megan's going to say no.
Shots fired. No, I don't understand. I think that PlayStation 4 is just getting going. I think this is sort of a knee-jerk reaction to, it's been kind of boring. There's been nothing good, and so I'm just going to sell this. And I'm like, wait a second. Things are just starting to come out now. We're just starting to hear about things. We're starting to learn about things, and things will be exclusive to the PlayStation 4 in the future. So why not just, you can play your CRPGs or whatever you want.
Cool RPGs.
Your cool RPGs,
bro.
your computer role-playing games. But, but why be hasty? I mean, why, I don't like it anymore, and I'm going to do this. Well, you're going to regret that.
Yeah.
You don't just stop being a Sony fan.
It's true. Well, he's apparently cooling. I think this is just, there's ups and downs to relationships, Derek. You need to understand this. You think Colin and I are in love every day? No. Some days I want to murder
You got to
him.
work at it.
Most of the days he wants to kill me. He hates me. I know it. But there's good times and bad.
Yeah, and I just think, it's cool. I mean, do what you want. It's just, I agree with you. I prefer to play games. I don't want to play games on PC. It's just like a game has to be really, really special for me to play it on PC, whether, like we said, whether it's Gone Home or more aptly Civilization 5, which I lost months of my life to. But generally, I want to sit with a controller in my hand. I want to be playing on a big TV. I want to play on my handle. I mean, that's just me. If people don't like that or think that that's fanboyish or whatever, that's up to them. I don't really care. But he seems to want to move in that other direction, and that's totally his prerogative to do that. But I agree with Megan. It's a weird time to move away from PS4. I think PS4 is selling really well. This is what I tweeted out yesterday. Do people that hate indie games specifically realize that they sound like old people? Yeah. Because I tweeted that out, and I'm like, you sound like old people. I hate indie games because they're indie, and why? It's actually really starting to bother me. It's why? There are so many great games on this console.
I come to the opposite conclusion. It's cool to hate on these games for some reason. Like, you're 15, I don't understand why Gone Home is so cool and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, because maybe you're not mature enough to understand what's going on.
Maybe, but it sounds to me like people clinging on to something that's dying, which is like the retail space, the AAA space. It's not to say that we won't get AAA games. It's not to say GameStop's going to close in the next few years. GameStop's going to close eventually. But it is to say that, like, I give a lot of props in my op-ed to people that play on Steam and people that play on PC because they just understand things already. They understand that we will eventually be into a digital-only future with consoles. They understand that there is a wide spectrum of games, $5 games, $20 games, $40 games.
So is he clairvoyant? Is he just getting ahead? Or he's just like, I'm just going to do everything on PC because that's the wave of the future?
Maybe. I mean, I wouldn't deny anyone. I would never deny that PC has the most games, the most diverse games, and arguably maybe even the best games pound for pound because everything's on PC. It's just that's not where I want to play. It's a good place to play if you want great games, but if you have a specific need to play with a controller or on a certain ecosystem or on a handheld, I wouldn't leave. I mean, why sell your PS4? Just keep it and put it in a box and wait until Uncharted comes out or whatever the hell you're waiting for.
Yeah, if you don't need the money, I don't see the reason to get out of it. More power to you. Be happy with your laptop.
I like that you keep using ecosystem. I have this like biology thing going on in my head. With stuff swimming around my PlayStation
He loves living in the
console.
PlayStation ecosystem.
Yeah, I live in the PlayStation ecosystem,
literally.
and that's my prerogative. And everyone lives in their different places, or they cross over. That's cool. I prefer playing on PS4, PS3, and Vita generally, but when a game like Sunset comes to Xbox One, or when Smash comes to Wii U, or when Shovel Knight came to Wii U, I was all about those games because I was excited about those games. But generally, that's where I exist, and I think that most gamers are like that. Yeah, it just so happens that the PlayStation ecosystem, I think, is extremely diverse for consoles, and it's a good place to be, I think.